Hey everyone, this is Chris Barnes from the East Brunswick Public Library Podcast Network, and you are listening to Read, Watch, Listen, where we catch up with people in our community to find out what they've been enjoying media-wise. We have a very special guest, Caro. Chris, how's it going?
Good. How is it going with you?
It is going awesome. So for those who don't know Chris is a longtime East Brunswick resident. Even more, he is a super library user. He comes to a ton of our programs. You can always find him checking out books and stuff. So he is a super library user. So I'm going to ask you a question. What is your earliest library memory?
Oh, God. Probably when I first moved here and I came in here as a kid and I met one of the librarians named Barbara, who is the best librarian ever. And I've been friends with her since then.
Barbara is awesome. If you're listening to this podcast and you're interested in this library, you probably met Barbara. She is great. So this is Read, Watch, Listen, where we check up with people and what they've consuming media-wise. What have you been reading recently?
All right. So I know this is probably going to get a lot of flack, but I just read Freida Mcfadden's The Crash. And I'm not going to say it was one of my favorite books, but it was in between favorite and not favorite books. I just didn't really like the writing of it, but would I read it again in a few years? Maybe, just to see if my perception of it changed.
So I'm going into this completely cold. What would be the elevator pitch of what this book is about?
It's about this woman who's pregnant and not married, has no boyfriend or anything. She decides to go visit her brother and she gets into an accident. And then this couple takes her in because it was snowing and there was a blizzard. And they take her in and they try to help her. But then the wife has ulterior motives with helping her.
So this kind of sounds like a lifetime drama on steroids. Is there anything else that you've read recently that you liked? Or it could be something that you didn't like and you want people to avoid at all costs.
Well, that would probably be one of them. But what other? I have to think now. I read a lot of books. I'm trying to read 200 books by the end of this year on Goodreads. And hence why I'm always in the library. Some of the books that I've read recently that I enjoyed were Bad Gays, A History of Homosexuals, and then Briar Club by Kate Quinn and Lady Macbeth and The Irish Goodbye by Aimee O'Neill.
That's a lofty goal.
I need in a really good book to pull me in is a really good plot, a really good character like development, and the chapters kind of have to like flow together, and probably the author's writing style too.
All right. So let's talk about listening. What have you been listening to recently?
Taylor Swift. A lot of Taylor Swift.
I think that's what you and maybe 45% of the global population?
Probably the higher version of a Swiftie than most people.
So what you're saying is that when you got your Spotify Wrap for the year, you got the congratulations on being in the 0.09% of global listeners.
No, because I actually listen to Apple Music and I don't use Spotify.
Okay, well, if you did, you would have gotten that. Why do you like Taylor Swift so much?
I like her because I like her songwriting abilities. And I kind of feel like we're kind of the same person, except me only in like a male form than a female form. But I feel like we also fall in love too fast and ignore the red flags.
Oh.
And then, but now, like, as she grew up, she's seeing the red flags, and so am I. So.
Oh, it makes sense. No, was it her? Or was it Britney Spears? Whoever said what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That was Kelly Clarkson.
I'm going to tell for everyone who's listening is Chris just shot me a look like you wouldn't believe that I messed this one up.
The only reason why I did that was because Kelly Clarkson was the one that told Taylor Swift to re-record her old records that got stolen from Scooter Braun.
Hey, it makes sense. It's a business move. They call it show business, not show friendship. Well, in that case, it was a friendship thing, but you get the point. So what else do you listen to? I guess Kelly Clarkson as well?
Kelly Clarkson, Kelsey Ballerini, Ed Sheeran, a ton of different genres of music.
What is something that you would not recommend someone to listen to that you thought was going to be great and like it was a record or an artist that you were like, full stop, don't listen to this?
Kanye West.
Well said. So our producer, Melissa, just noticed that we went out of order. Instead of being Read, Watch, Listen, we did Read, Listen, Watch. So if you're listening to this, this is a very special episode of Read, Watch, Listen. So lastly, we'll end it on a high note. What have you been watching lately?
So I just started watching this show on Peacock called PONIES, which is called Person of Non-Interest. And it's about the Cold War in Russia And one of the characters is played by Emilia Clarke, who played Daenerys in Game of Thrones.
So this is like a heavy drama?
Spy drama / like thriller.
And is it a period piece or?
No, not really. It's more of a spy thriller type. But it is good. I just watched the first episode.
Since you are the first person ever on our podcast who has Peacock, and I think you can get this also on a physical media form. Can I give you a recommendation if you like silly television and sitcoms? There is a great show on NBC Peacock called Mr. Mayor, starring Ted Danson, where he is an advertising mogul. He's filthy rich behind all of his imagination. And to try to win the love and respect of his 14-year-old daughter, he decides to run for the mayor of Los Angeles, and things go wacky and completely out of hand. I don't think anyone watched it except for me because it only lasted for 2 seasons, but the 2 seasons are a gem, and that's worth whatever Peacock is a month.
I've heard good reviews about it.
Yeah, so it's a very small audience, but those of us who watched it, and I think you would get a kick out of it. And I think part of one of the ongoing jokes in that show was Ted Danson's character, the mayor, keeps confusing Kelly Clarkson, Taylor Swift, and everything that his daughter listens to because he's such an uncool older dad. So there's that. So anything else that you watch on TV or movies?
I watch a ton of Bravo shows. Like, give me reality TV shows every day. I'll probably watch that compared to regular TV shows. But I do watch like a good amount of regular TV shows like Nashville 911, which is a very good one, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med. Bravo shows, like mostly all of the Real Housewives and Vanderpump Rules and Southern Charm and a ton of other ones.
I do have to admit, some of those reality shows are just amazing to watch because these people are absurd to begin with. And now that they're on a show where they're told to crank it up to 11, you get some amazing character studies that are impossible to replicate. Which is your favorite Real Housewives city?
Oh, God. I would say New Jersey, only because I'm from New Jersey. But I did actually meet Teresa Giudice a long, long time ago when she wrote her first cookbook in the bookstore right in East Brunswick. And she was very, very nice.
That's how you make a fan for life. And we know that you're a lifelong super library user. So why do you keep coming back to our library? What's like, other than Barbara, who we mentioned, who is awesome, but like if someone said, oh, I don't know if I should go to the library, what would you tell them is the best thing we do or why it's special?
Well, reading in general is great, but why I would tell someone to come here is because everyone's super, super nice in here. And if you need help finding something, they're very helpful. And the community programs that they do are very good too.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for noticing. So, Chris, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be on our podcast. For our producer, Melissa Hosick, thank you for producing as always. And I'm Chris Barnes, and thanks for listening.